It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. And of course, Eddie G's Cookies. That's right. If you want a cookie that is good, tastes good, and ain't got all that other stuff that ain't no good for you in it. Did I say that right? Eddie G's, that's right, baby. Go over to eddiegs.com and place your order today and tell them the BSJ sent you. Oh, and for my folk out there in TV land, sorry about that. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions and comments during today's program, by all means, please do so. And we will throw it up on the screen. And y'all know what's coming next. If you're one of them folks that wants to leave a question or comment that's indignant or ignorant in nature, it won't be seen on this screen. Matter of fact, here's what you'll get.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from across the way, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say.
College football is here. Where did the summer go?
That's it. That's all. I set you up for that, and that's it. That's all you got.
That's a powerful statement. It's not how many words, how impactful.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, then, Double J Luther King. Absolutely. Anyway, we got a great little show for y'all today on the program. That's right. We got a few things. We're going to go around the globe is what I like to call it. We're going to touch on a little bit of NFL, a little WNBA, a little Major League Baseball. I tell you, I know we ain't really talked much baseball this year because it really, baseball, unfortunately, is just one of those sports as much as I love it. You know what I mean? Got to get the people what they want, whatnot. We'll get to your comments here in a second. It's probably Mrs. Alva weighing in. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? The Michigan State Spartans. Anyway, Magic Johnson, baby, with the alley-oop, the sky hook. Anywho, yeah, we got to go around the globe with y'all today. We're going to touch on a few things here. We're going to try to get through this because, of course, all my Browns fans is out there checking us out or whatever, whatnot. I know y'all want to get to that Browns last preseason game of the season. You need it. Double J. Yeah, it was it was. Yeah, I sent it. What do you mean it wasn't there in the nair? What are you talking about?
I went and looked. I was not sent.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, anyway, I got it just as a backup in just case I wrote it down. But anyway, like I said, we got a few things on the menu for y'all today. And with that being said, without further ado, I should say we're going to get things rolling. Let's start the show officially. All right. Before we get into some of this round the globe action is what I like to call it, and some show topics or whatnot, I got a question. What would have to happen in this year's college football's 12-team playoff for the committee to not make alterations after the fact? Because remember now, there was some talk prior to the 12-team, the new realignment, there was some talk about going to 14 teams. So in order for that to not come back up, what would have to happen this year? Because if I'm not mistaken, you could be ranked 12th, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you are Power 5 that's in the top 25, you'll get that 12th spot over the 12th rank. So in other words, the ranking is different from the seeding. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So what would have to happen? Oh, you want to get to this comment right quick first? No, maybe. Yeah, let's get what's oh my gosh, Mrs. Alva. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Oh, yep. Go green, college football, baby. Yeah. In other words, yeah. Boo. Yeah, go green. Anywho. So what would have to happen? Oh, and by the way, did you like that Florida State, Georgia Tech? Because I got a question about that too. Even though I didn't get to see the game, I got a question about, but I'll hold my question about
well,
that.
they were who we thought they were.
Florida
State was who we thought they were because when we did the preseason rankings, when we did that, we said who shouldn't be there, and They didn't even make it to week 1 without proving us right.
Well, first of all, let me answer the first question first, because we'll get to this Georgia Tech, Florida State thing, okay? What would have to happen, again, for the college football, for the 12 team to stay at 12 for the duration?
It just
for
has
years
to be
to come.
Uneventful from some outsider really kind of crashing the party. So remember,
give me an example.
So right away, there's qualifiers. So remember how you'd said, oh, the conference championships are worthless. No, if you're in the Power 4, you get an automatic qualifier by winning the conference.
Okay.
Which now puts even more, because as we've seen, it gives that a real, not just taste, but it feels like what we see with NCAA tournament with basketball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But here's the killer part. Remember, we've had this discussion prior to this all actually taking place, or whatever it is. What I don't understand, what is the big deal though when it comes to the FBS, when the FCS has already shown you? Because if I'm not mistaken, at one point in time, the FCS had at least 14 teams in the playoff. I'm talking about the North Dakota States, when the Brock Jensens and the what was it, Terrence Williams, I think was his name, played for the other. Because those two, I can't remember what team he played for, but he was a running back for the Browns a few years back. And the team he played on used to play North Dakota State. Seemed like every year them two went head to head. Even when Carson Wentz was the quarterback for North Dakota State, it seemed like this whatever that other team, I can't think of the name, excuse me. But the FCS, they've had multiple teams. You're talking about tourney style, NCAA tourney style. For those who are not familiar, when Double J mentions tourney style, he's talking about the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's got 64,000 teams in it, seemed like at times. But the FCS had no problem making it a 35,000 team format. What's the deal with the FBS? I know I'm asking you 1,000 questions here, but yeah.
Well, right away, I do think it will expand. We've talked about this in the past, that the format of the other bowls were already obviously pre-existing. So being able to add added value and potentially have wild cards and that type of thing to allow potential bowl game winners to play their way in. Yes, it screams dollar signs, but it also gives what I would consider the non-Power 4 teams a real legitimate chance, right, at getting in. We hear often, like, I'll point to two teams specifically, like Liberty or another at one point in time would be SMU again, who's invested heavily into their program. And so just being able to allow the quote unquote little guy to get in. We've seen this in the past with UCF, who still has a banner up saying that they're national champions. So
as could have been the case made, what year I forget. Y'all know, like the transmission on the 68 Buick that's been sitting in the garage too long, the mine do be slipping. But I do remember there was a year when the BCS was still in play, when Auburn, Jason Campbell was the quarterback. They went undefeated and didn't get in. Okay. And then speaking of Florida State, right quick, the year that they played Oklahoma for the national championship, when it should have been the Miami Hurricanes.
Well, and that's why for this to go uncontested, you can't have essentially that undefeated UCF type of team, or Boise State, as we've, along with the other examples you provided, that says we should be there because there's a 2-loss SEC team who, has leapfrogged us, or that type of thing. So, for example, the current line right now is 3.5 for over under with Big Ten teams in the college football playoff.
Well, we already know that.
Right. But again, that's where the line is, at 3.5.
You mean, when you say 3.5, you mean you're not talking points, you're talking about teams.
Yes, teams. And right now that number is actually higher for the SEC. It's, I want to say, at about 4.5.
Really?
So we're already, to me right away, if history tells us anything, it would be LSU, Alabama, and then potentially some combination of a Florida or Potentially, Tennessee right away comes to mind. So
but you might have Texas A&M.
Oh, I'm sorry, in Texas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, bump Florida out, throw Texas in.
Whoa. That's right. Texas did go to the SEC.
That's right. So there's 4. There's already 4 that.
What about Ole Miss?
And that's the thing. There's 2 dark horses in that because typically the old SEC East, right, was always kind of the weaker of the 2.
The 2, yeah.
And so if really what it would come down to was winning 1 game, which is your conference title.
Yeah.
And then now you're in. So that changes. That already says we're going to end up with controversy because if you put 6 SEC teams, again, that's half the field. You now are again obligated to give, we'll say 7 and 8 and 9 to the other 3 conference winners. And you're telling me that potentially you would only have 2 Big Ten teams in?
So do you think that the 12 team will eventually or at some point have created more controversy than the BCS and then the 14 playoff format prior to? Because controversy sells, we know that.
Well, sure. And I would say I've always said that the BCS had an element of need, of necessity, at the very least as a secondary measure, right? Kind of like, okay, here's the theory, but then does it line up with the data, right? Is the human agreeing with the AI? And then being able to kind of use both. And along with maybe potentially your AP polls and coaches polls, and then you throw those into the blender, and then that's what you got, right? But by abandoning it altogether, and what people that have been heavily on the BCS method have used in more recent models is how accurate it actually was right now, like over the past 2 or 3 seasons. So it's actually provided some additional merit. Whereas in the year that always drives me crazy, I want to say it's 2003 with Jason White with Oklahoma that had no business being there, let alone
that game stunk up. Yeah, that game stunk to college football period for a long time after that. Yeah. Well, do you think that let's say the BCS, did I say that right? The BCS?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's say it's still in play today. You think USC gets in?
It depends what happens today with, or as far as this particular first game, right? They're going against Texas, I think.
That's tonight, right?
I thought that was next week.
Oh, okay, maybe. I don't look. I told y'all the mind do be slipping. Okay, let's get to this Florida State and Georgia Tech right quick before we go to a break, and then we come back. We will talk about who's the better point guard, Jalen Brunson or Ja Morant. But listen, don't underestimate Georgia Tech. Now, if you look at Georgia Tech's history, and I'm not talking all the way. You ain't got to go back as far as when they had leather helmets. Okay, I'm talking about in more recent memory. And as a former Miami Hurricanes fan, because my fandom is conditional. No, I'm dead serious. The way they lost to Georgia Tech last year.
Oh, now you want to give them credit. How can you do that in the same statement? I left my fandom behind because of who they lost to. And now here I am giving merit to that same team.
No, don't make me pull the tape because I can pull the tape. The tape never lies. Okay. Kobe jumped over the car. Kenny Smith did not. Okay. The tape don't lie. What I'm telling you is, I said it when we talked about it at the time. I said the way Miami lost to Georgia Tech is what canceled my fandom. Okay? My fandom for any sports team nowadays is conditional. Okay? I'm not going to continue to invest and keep getting the mess. All right? I'm just leave it at that. But Georgia Tech has a tendency, if you look at in the last 4, 5, 6 years, they knock off ranked teams since people place so much stock in rankings with a regularity that cannot be dismissed. When I saw that they beat Florida State, I'm not surprised by that at all. And I think that they could be a dark horse of sorts to hit that doggone playoff this year, possibly. We can ready to go to a break right quick. Wait a minute. Mrs. Alba weighing in again. She said the ball don't lie. Oh, that's Michigan State talk. We can ready to go to a break. My gosh, the ball don't lie. That's right, y'all. Go get some of that merchandise, baby. The shop is open for business, baby. We'll be right back in 28-28.
What it do, sports fans? It's your man BSJ from the Shop Report. And guess what? The shop is now open for business, baby. If you're on Facebook, go to our fan page, The Shop Report. Click on More. And then shop to view all products. Or if you're on Instagram, click on the shop tab to see all our products. I mean, what you want me to do? I'm selling merch here.
All right, we are back. Hey, I don't like that picture, man. Why'd you put that picture up there? It looked like I had got a mug shot for DUI or something. Don't do that to me no more. I just now happen to look at that doggone picture. Okay. We got some
screen.
What happened? Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's the same. Any other time we play it, oh, now you want to disappear. Any other time we play it, it's not full screen. I just happened to look at it full screen. Was like, oh my god! I mean, you could have told me I had something in my teeth. But anyway,
hey, look, that's those in the hotel rooms, those zoom in kind of circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Mirrors. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, next time. Yeah, next time, zoom out. Okay, you got everybody looking at my 5 teeth, 3 in my mouth and 2 in my pocket. Anywho. I saw this on Facebook and I thought it was interesting. I figured, hey, you know what? I'll bring this to the platform or the P program, I should say. Who's the better point guard, Ja Morant or Jalen Brunson? And it actually gave me pause. I said, well, wait a minute now. You really got to think about that before you answer, or at least you should, in my opinion. Because once I start giving thought to it, I come up with these 3 basically, I don't know, criterion. First off, can you really answer that in this case without defining what a point guard is? And in that instance, what other criteria would you name? And would one of those criteria or criterion be, which one controls the game on both ends? Your thoughts?
Well, there was a lot to kind of process there.
You want me
yeah, you read that all over again.
Okay. So again, the question is, who's the better point guard, Ja or Brunson? And then can you answer that without asking yourself, first, how do you define point guard? Okay. And then once you define that, are there any other criteria that would go into saying, hey, for you to make a decision on which one you would pick or who's better versus the other and so on and so forth? And would one of those criteria be which one controls the game on both ends of the floor? Cue the Jeopardy music.
Yeah, no, I certainly would agree that if in picking, they have a different set
style of play.
Skills. Yeah, absolutely. So right away, when you think of, for myself, I'm looking at criteria like not just ball handling in for example, just passing. Obviously, there's a leadership aspect.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. I was just I was just writing that down. Exactly. That was one of my criterion too, leadership. And if that's the case, how much weight does that carry in saying which one you'd pick? Because if leadership carries some weight, then I'm figuring it's got to be Brunson.
Right. And that's the thing. So on top of that, you have, communication, and then maybe statistical categories like, assists to turnovers. But that's why I'm saying they're 2 entirely different players, where Morant can be the more dynamic of the 2, but you could say Brunson is potentially the more complete of the 2 in terms of distribution and communication and leadership. And so,
and not even so much controlling the game on both ends of the floor. Brunson plays better on both ends of the floor. You know what I'm saying? From a defensive standpoint, because you can control the game from both ends of the floor from an offensive standpoint. So sort of kind of like, what's the best way to, keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady's, Peyton Manning's hand? keep him on the sideline. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying? You know, sort of, kind of, you know. But yeah, I think Brunson's a better defender too.
So would you give the nod to Brunson as it pertains to basketball IQ?
Yes. Right now, yes. And that's aside from, I'm not even including Ja's off the court troubles, if you want to call them that. I'm just saying from watching him at Murray State until now, you know, because Ja was getting ready to be the next face, you know. He just had that his dynamic just jumped off the screen like, wow, I was in your face. But yeah. I think I'm going Brunson. Because yeah, I mean, you know, my motto, so to speak, you know, signature players make signature plays in the signature moments of the signature game. You know, Brunson in certain situations he's controlling the game. Yeah, not as I'm playing it back, man. Yeah, he's controlling the game. Offense, you know, from an offensive standpoint. If you're down 4, you know, 3 minutes left, you know, Ja seemed like, you know, he gonna come off that screen. He's trying to dunk it from the foul line. You know, Brunson, he's better at setting up a play or setting up a score as opposed to Ja, you know, he's trying to go get it. And I mean, I ain't mad at it, you know, you're trying to tear your mouth out every trip, you know what I mean? Whereas Brunson, you know, he got a better pace to him than Ja, in my opinion.
And that's what I mean. Like, he controls the tempo. I would argue gets the nod in valuing each possession, where Ja can be a little bit, but again,
erratic.
They're not the same age, right? And part of
does that matter though?
I think it does, because
they're playing in the same time period.
Well, sure, but at different points of your career, right? You view things different. Not only does the game slow down, and just so I'm not trying to hold. I almost feel like because Ja's so dynamic and can do so much individually, that it comes at the expense of his team, whereas somebody like Brunson can certainly put points up, but at the same time, his distribution is right up there with that ability.
Yeah, but see, okay, well, when you mention age, the first thing that comes to mind is with age comes wisdom is a false expression, so to speak, because you and I both know some old fools. You know what I mean? Just because you're older, that don't make you grown, or that don't mean that you're gonna be better at, you know what I mean? Because there's still folks out here, like Muhammad Ali said, if a man at 50 is still doing the stuff he did when he was 20, he wasted 30 years of his life, type of deal. So just because you're older doesn't guarantee anything. But I get where you were going with that. Brunson, to me, is, I don't know, to you and Brother Richard's point, seemed like forever in the day. Maybe you think he's had better coaching?
Well, certainly at the collegiate level.
Yeah, well, that's right. Jay Wright. Yeah, that Villanova. They got a pedigree to go all the way back to the 80s. You know, and a guy I've been trying to get on the show, actually going to hopefully get him here maybe in the next few weeks or so. Frank Happy Dobbs played at Villanova and played in that national championship against Ewing and all of those guys. And he and I talk. Yeah, he works with me. He and I talk all the time. He talk about, you should hear some of the stuff. That's why I want to get him on here, because he got some inside information that I think I might have to sign a waiver for him before I bring it to the platform or the P program. All right. Before we move on to some baseball, the last thing I want to say is about Ja and Brunson. I'm looking forward to both of them this upcoming season, to tell you the truth, because, you know, without the injuries, the Knicks, I don't know, that might be a different story, because I think that the Knicks right now in the East are the Celtics did what they had to do. No, take nothing from them. But then the Knicks would be a real challenge for them if everybody's healthy. And then on the Memphis side, your boy, let me give him a shout out, Zach Edey's Grand Ice Cream. Okay.
Look at you setting up a marketing
Yeah.
deal. Look
Yeah,
at
exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like,
think
you
about
know,
that.
Angel,
All those
like,
years, missed
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, come on now. Yeah. You know, like Angel Reese with Reese's Pieces or whatnot. But anyway, yeah, him and Ja got a big man now, a for real big man. So I can just imagine with that. Again, Edie gonna touch the ball about 7,200 times a game. He better not. He better not touch it that many times. We're gonna take another break, y'all. That's right, Eddie G's 126. That's how many seconds we going out for this one. Get them Eddie G's cookies, y'all. The Snickerdoodles. I'll let your boy. We'll be right back.
I'm Jordan Gudeman, and I'm the founder and CEO of Eddie G's Cookies. I was first diagnosed with a nut allergy when I was young. At the time, there weren't a lot of labeled items that said if there may contain nuts or there are nuts in the food, so my brother and sister and I baked a lot at home, and we enjoyed treats from mixes and things like that, but I noticed that it was not the same as what my friends were enjoying, and I started making up my own recipes. When it was time to pick a career, I decided to start a bakery so I could share my treats with everybody else. When I started creating my recipe, I was taking in all the things that I thought I was missing out on. A soft, chewy center, a crisp outside crust, and a taste that is just like it came out of the oven at a bakery. When I put all those things together, I had come up with a recipe for a dream cookie. Eddie G's Cookies only uses the finest ingredients. We have all natural flavorings, no preservatives, and every cookie is made in a nut-free environment. The best part about Eddie G's Cookies is that they can be delivered right to your door. You can share them or not. We won't tell.
All right. We are back. A little bit of Major League Baseball for y'all. Shohei, hey, say hey, Ohtani. His grand slam. Did you see his grand slam
Yes, sir.
against the Rays the other day? Makes him the fastest player in Major League Baseball history to join the 40-40 club. What say you about that? And I mean, is he in the, I mean, where we putting him at? Bonds, Willie Mays, Jackie Robinson, Babe Ruth, not the candy bar people. I'm just saying. You know, he's built like one. I'm just saying.
Ruth. He is the modern Ruth. I've never seen anything like that other than, again, hearing those stories, which, of course, I found an article this morning that basically a family member, we'll say an uncle, right? Not of mine, I wish. All he did was never married, no kids, was just had a stash of, all he did was card collect. He had 6 autographed Babe Ruth cards. And what's the first thing that happens before he's even fresh in the ground? They're auctioned.
Oh yeah, the wolves come out, the leeches. Yeah. What movie was that that Jamie Lee Curtis was in?
Like, couldn't we just sell one and then hang on? It's not like they're gonna lose value.
Yeah, they were sitting around waiting for the will to be read. But the guy, whoever it is, that left everybody the money, he left all the money to the maid.
Well, not,
you know,
see,
yeah.
That's why I said, somehow the cat ends up with the house, then.
I mean, I'm just saying, if the cat is Morris, okay, if the cat is Morris, listen, bruh, I can't, I mean, again, I'm ancient. I sat behind Abe Lincoln in high school.
Man, I thought you were about to say the theater.
Hey, no, I'm serious. Listen, he leaned back to me. He leaned behind. He's like, hey.
No.
He said, Jay, hey, man, you think I should do this emancipation? I said, man, do what you want to do, man, but stop copying off my paper. That's all I'm trying to tell you. But as far back as I can remember, man, we talking about Ozzie Smith. We talking about some greats. Cal Ripken. Jeter was one of my favorites. I'm sorry. I don't, I don't get the disdain. A lot of disdain I see on the social media sites about Derek Jeter. Why, I have no idea. But that's neither here nor there.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm talking about, I'm just thinking of players, some that I saw and some that I didn't see, that you always hear mentioned, of course, when you're talking Major League Baseball. Bob Gibson, Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, who's the guy that played in Detroit? Duh.
Ty Cobb.
Miggy. Huh?
Oh, okay. Thought you were going Ty Cobb there.
Yeah, oh, Cobb, and and then another one, and me being a Guardians of Cleveland, I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm realistic, okay? Thurman Munson, okay, Ron Guidry. Did I say Bob Gibson? Clemente. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, even Omar Vizquel is one of the greats to me, at shortstop. I mean, I'm just saying. And of course, you got your Bonds and your, who was the other guy? I can't think of. Palmero. Pudge Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr., Senior. Oh, and that's not even talking about Johnny Bench and Pete Rose, the big red machine. My gosh, Dennis Eckersley, Kirk Gibson, infamous. But my point is, bro, I have to your point too. I don't. This dude he's something different, man. Because well, let me ask you this. Because I haven't seen it here lately. Is he still on the mound as well?
So remember, he had the surgery. So
right,
he's
okay,
recovering from that. He actually just threw from the mound. I want to say this week, not just kind of getting back into the rhythm again.
Yeah.
But as far as this year, and that's what makes him so dynamic, right? Any other, if you were truly a pitcher, right, or just only a pitcher, I guess.
Yeah.
Somehow that's the meaning, and only a pitcher now. He would have been out this entire season.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's something interesting. Do you think in part he's able to do what he's doing from the plate because starting pitchers anyway, nowadays don't go the duration that those pitchers in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and maybe even the 90s, maybe the early 2000s, I'm not sure. Starting pitchers were going. I know Clemens. Oh, and Pedro Martinez. He's one of my favorites too. I know these guys in CC Sabathia. These guys. They go 7, 8, 9, and let's not even talk about the guys in the 70s, the Gibsons and all of that. Man, they pitched 14, 15. Nolan Ryan and them guys. These guys nowadays from the mound are going. If you get 5 2/3 out of them, you're doing. So in other words, it's
right.
Saving their arms, so to speak, or their bodies somewhat. So do you think that plays a part in what he's able to do then from that square, the batting circle, square, whatever you want to call it, the plate, at the plate?
I'm going to say no, because if that were truly the case, everyone else should be capable of doing exactly that. On either side of it, right? Either a pitcher's end or just from batting. And obviously with the Tigers, we'll tell you right away that is truly not the case. Ask Javi Baez.
Oh my gosh, don't do that.
Man.
When it's all said and done, let's say he stays the course. Where do you I'm talking about, where are you putting him at on the Pantheon?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When else have we seen this? Ruth was the only one that truly was doing both, and he didn't do one of the two well. And you just you added another notch on the belt to say fastest of all time in the elite 40-40 club. And so that's why, the way where Cabrera finished put him in certainly rare company.
Yeah.
I think there were like maybe 4 or 5 that did what he was able to accomplish. But again, we're talking about 4 or 5.
Mrs. Alva, hold on. Mrs. Alva's weighing in again. She's saying, laugh out loud, whatever that is. Okay, I got you. Hobby. Is that what is she cracking a funny? Is she trying to crack a funny there? Yeah, we're going to get that. Yeah, we're going to take the green out of that. We're going to do something to that S on that Michigan State. Yeah, we got to do something. But if it wasn't for Magic Johnson, man, we had to put Miss Alva somewhere. We had to put her in, I don't know, Antarctica somewhere. My gosh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, no. Yeah, Ohtani. So you putting him at again, if everything stays the course, when it's all said and done, and if he keeps continuing to do what he's doing, you putting it. So it'll be him, and then the next closest person will be what? A distant 30th?
That's the challenge, right? He hasn't yet sustained it long enough, but he's at a pace where he would finish in that category in the, you know, from a batting vantage point.
Okay.
And this is where it gets interesting too, right? Where, okay, well, how many accolades does he need as a pitcher in order for you to say, is it just the fact simply alone that he was able to pitch X amount of seasons in the major leagues that is simply good enough? Or does he have to accomplish something like a Cy Young award in order for you to say, no, this is why he's at the top, just off of the premise that he was elite at both? Even if it was one season, as an example.
I think, you know what, to do it at all, even if it's just for one season, what he did from the plate and from the mound, I can't. That's why I was naming players, regardless of positions. I'm just talking about players who were great at when it came to Major League Baseball. You know, I can't recall seeing. I mean, to me, this is like Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson territory. I mean, Deion have caught a flight to Atlanta Stadium and hit the 42 home runs in the World Series. I'm embellishing, okay. And then he got back on the same plane and went back and then scored a punt return and a kickoff return and an interception for a touchdown return for when he was with the Cowboys, or I don't know, with the Falcons or whoever. You know, like who does Bo Jackson? Bo Jackson is throwing guys out from 500 feet away, and then he goes and plays for the Raiders and wins a playoff game. It's just like there's only a handful of guys who could do that. We're talking about professionals, is what I'm saying to you. Now, I know Ohtani did not play two different sports, but to be able to play one sport and do both, you just don't see that every day, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly. And that's why, well, what's more impressive to you? Being able to play both or being able to do what Ohtani's doing?
Being able to play both. Being able to play both. But I say that begrudgingly. And it would just that the fact that you're playing two different is where I would separate, is the separator. That's it. Because he is still within the same sport. Deion playing baseball and not, you know, he didn't go out there looking like Michael Jordan now. Okay. All right. Deion went out. He was for the Braves. He was a significant piece, you know, and this is, that's again, him and Bo Jackson, you know, it's like they are in this category. And then you can have a conversation about the field. All right.
Right.
You know, Ohtani is the only one in the middle right there. He's the only one in that stratosphere of a Deion and a Bo Jackson, you know? And I mean, and people think I'm a homer when I'm saying this, but you know anything about a little bit of history. I didn't see the guy, but I got his autobiography and I'm here to tell you. Now, he didn't do it professionally, but yeah, he didn't do it professionally, but in college, I don't know what this might apply. Maybe, you know, maybe on the outside looking in, but Jim Brown played, I don't know how many sports at Syracuse and was an All-American at all of them. Okay. Right. Lacrosse. All right. Frisbee. Okay. I mean, my goodness, you know, this guy's exploits at Syracuse are unheralded and unheard of. But, you know, shout out to Ohtani, man, for doing what he's doing. I like this. Keep going, because it's unprecedented and he already made history. He's going to continue to make history, I believe, barring, you know, any more significant injuries. You know, that elbow and that arm, you know, that is a big deal. But, you know, how old is the guy, by the way? Do you know?
26, maybe?
Oh, so he's still young enough. That it'll heal up. Now, if you'd have said 36, 46, and 46.
30.
Oh, well, all righty. Oh, boy. Okay, well, I don't know. We'll see. But even if he does it for another 3 or 4 years, man, he's already in March. He already made history. It's just going to be cemented even further. All right.
Right.
Okay. Now next up is the WNBA. I know we haven't had much conversation about the WNBA, but it's a lot going on, obviously, with the whole Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And now that we're here going to discuss it or whatnot, I'm going to say something in particular about Angel Reese. I want to preface it by saying this: social media is all in an uproar about. You got the Reese camp, you got the Caitlin Clark camp. If you are of the basketball camp, I'm here to tell you right now, and I'm going to do a 4-point play on this maybe in a few days. You all to see it. Stay tuned for that 4-point play. But anywho, the WNBA is here to stay. And these two ladies, whether you like one or dislike the other or don't like that one because you like this one, if that made sense, is here to stay. And these two are the catalyst for women's basketball becoming more prevalent to the casual. I've, as a hooper, been following it for years. I often talk about Saudi Roundtree, the point guard from Georgia back in the day. All right. If you don't know who I'm talking, go look at some of her footage. Saudi Roundtree don't get enough mention in the conversation. All right. I'm just saying, but I'm going to give her some shout. I'm going to give her some love right here, Saudi. But to the casual fan, the WNBA is here. I don't know all the numbers like you do, Double J, but I'm sure attendance is up across the board. Now, the monies that they were not crying about, I don't want to say crying, the monies that they were kind of miffed about not getting, it's coming in now. Remember, we talked maybe a couple years ago about the NBA does not do they don't do a well enough job, if I'm saying that right, of promoting the women's game. Well, they don't have no choice now. Okay. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are joined at the hip. This in a similar fashion as was Magic and Bird. When the Game Was Ours, written by Jackie McMullen, it's a story of Magic and Bird. Well, the game is now theirs. The ladies have taken over, and I salute. Okay. Caitlin doing her thing, and they're so like night and day type of deal. You know what I mean? But Angel Reese, for instance, becomes the first rookie with back-to-back 20 rebound games since Shaq in 1993. And then again, speaking of Reese, who wins Rookie of the Year, her or Caitlin, in your opinion?
I think Clark does.
Why do you think so?
With the assist record, and it's going to be record versus record. I think she's already got the points, but I think she's going to get the 3-point record as well. My understanding that could be broken tonight. So it's a combination of records that she's going to be attached to that I think will be the difference between the two.
I didn't get a chance to look at this. Are the Fever in playoff contention?
They were near semi in previously. They're losing right now to Minnesota. But let's see.
Mrs. Alva's weighing in again. And where did Magic go to college? Florida State. My gosh.
So for context, they're third in the East. And so
it's only how many teams?
12 currently.
Oh, and they're third in the East? Oh, there are 12 teams total.
12 total.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I think that's going to be subject to change here. It sounds like everyone else, investor-wise, is starting to recognize the opportunity.
Listen, that's my point. You cannot deny the impact. To me, people are getting too caught up in who they like versus who they don't like and trying to one up somebody on who's right and who's wrong and all of that. That is pittance. That's mollywop. Is that a word or term? Woo. I wanted to say paprikash, but okay. I'm just saying, to me, if you say you really love the sport, you got to step back and widen the lens and see, because we're talking about the Houston Comets, Cynthia Cooper and Kim Perot and Cheryl Swoops and all of them, or whatever the case may be. They was running off WNBA championships right out the gate.
Right.
when the conversation about the women's game seems to come up, comes up, they seem to be looked at almost to the same tune as the Buffalo Bills, who went 4 straight and didn't win. You know, like, it's passe. No, listen, these two ladies have catapulted women's basketball, not just women's professional basketball, but women's basketball to a level. It went from, again, this is my opinion, it went from a level 2 to a level 22, and you blinked.
Right.
And there it is. So you got to give credit to both of them. You know what I mean? For real. That's a case where you sit back, and because I'm a long since said, from a fundamental standpoint, the women's game is a far better game played. We're gonna take another commercial break. Just buy cracky. That's right. You got the doggone growth and all that coming up out the sidewalk cracks. Well, guess what? We got some buy cracky, baby. Check it out. 43. We be back. You see me.
Cleaning the cracks on your pavement surfaces can take hours and be torturous on your body. Until now. Bi-Cracky Weed Removal Tool was designed specifically to clean pavement cracks in a fraction of the time, all while standing up. Bi-Cracky's patented design incorporates a 2-sided steel blade and is encased by a durable fiberglass shell. Simply use the large end to clean big gaps, then rotate and use the small tip for narrow gaps. Made in the USA, Bi-Cracky eliminates weeds to the root and is environmentally friendly. Bi-Cracky. Save your back while you clean your crack.
All right, we are back. Double J, I don't know if I like that slogan. All right, save your breath.
Gotta talk to the creator on that one. That
well,
was not my decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well,
however, hopefully
save your back and get a whack on the. Oh, anyway, what happened?
Hopefully, in potentially the Walmarts or the Sam's Clubs, if things go well over the next few weeks.
Oh wow, say that fast 2 times. Sam's Clubs. All righty then. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to the direction that the women's game, the WNBA in particular, is headed. And then of course you got because by what they're doing, they already did it in college, right? That rivalry is there, whether by design or organic, is there. Again, same way Magic and Bird was, but now by them being in the WNBA, it's uplifted the college game. Juju Watkins, I mean, oh my gosh, well, even she was already doing her thing, but now it's just shed more light. So just all I'm suggesting to folks out there is stop hackling and cackling over the buy crackling and get you a pair of sunglasses, okay? And stop cackling.
Well, and it's not limited to those two, which is great, right? Because you had the old guard, the old regime that.
And Asia Wilson, by the way. Asia Wilson.
She's the truth, but
absolutely.
But unfortunately, they've been playing like crap pretty much since I left Vegas.
That's why, Double J, because you left Vegas. Had you stayed there, you're like a good luck charm to them down there.
Well, small portion of that, but the Diana Taurasi's of the world. Remember, this was the ultimate sign that when it came to should Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have been left off of that gold medal team. And why the answer was yes was because they put the WNBA All-Stars against that team and they beat them.
They who beat who and whom?
The WNBA All-Stars beat the U.S. Olympic team. Had to have.
Yeah, well, I mean, but at the end of the day, the college team, the All-Stars or whatever you want to call them, beat the 92 Dream Team too. So
right, but this one was televised and in front of everybody, not a behind closed door scrimmage.
Okay, either way, beat is beat. It's not. I mean, we didn't have social media like that back then. If we even had it then, I'm thinking some people still have.
But how can you leave this? This is where I'm going with it. How could you have left them off the roster and then lose to them? Which reiterated to me that it had nothing to do with experience. It had everything to do with
wait your turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's okay, right? But they just played against each other more recently. And again, and she was yapping at her. And believe me, you can read Caitlin Clark's lips on what she said when she fired back. And then, of course, they beat him.
Hey,
So,
listen, I'm all for it. Talk smack.
Absolutely.
And
no.
As long as you can back it up.
This is far more entertaining to me than the men's side, which is really,
of course,
it's some. I wouldn't say it's sad. It just shows how much they've strayed more recently in the direction of that game. But the way that this is picked up, and because there's so much talent, not limited to those names, it is uniformly across the board that you have the Hambies on the LA Sparks. You have, the Boomwales on multiple teams, because there's, of course, there's I think 2 or 3 of the sisters are on there. And then
don't even get me to try to say nobody's last name. Not with all these teeth I got missing.
And then you pointed out already,
no.
Look at the duo in New York with Sabrina and of course, then it's astounding to me just how much talent is everywhere.
What it do? Am I saying this right? Jaime Guerra?
Yo.
What it do, JG, baby? What it do? What's up? What's up? Glad you could join us on the program tonight, baby. You understand me? Yeah, no question. I just got a little notification from somebody that's watching, but they want to put their comment on the air. You gonna be? Listen, I'll be the first one to tell you. I got a face for radio. Okay. Well, you can't even write a comment, leave a comment on the show. You're gonna leave it to me on my phone. Talking about some, you don't know nothing about women's basketball. You just joined the party 10 minutes ago. Okay, Helen. Okay, I tell you, I'm not. This person that left me this little message, they don't even know who Sylvia Fowles is. Yeah.
Wow.
Be quiet on the set. Exactly. Don't play with me, Sylvia Fowles. Now listen, hey, look, if I pulled up Sylvia Fowles' accolades and her resume, didn't tell you who her name was, and I said, name this player. And you, of course, if you took out, the fact that she WNBA and all that, but if I, showed you the statisticals that they always, them side by sides that they like to put up on social media, you'd swear up and down it was first ballot Hall of Fame. That one of them type of deals. You know how they do. Don't get it twisted. Sylvia Fowles was nothing to play with.
If I were to ask you all-time starting fives.
Oh, don't do that.
No. Just who would you pick between South Carolina, Tennessee?
Wait, which Tennessee? You talking about Pat Summitt's Tennessees?
I'm talking all time. So all time, you can pick your own starting five, but from South Carolina or Tennessee, and then I would probably honorable mention throw in a Baylor or maybe a Notre Dame in there as well.
You wouldn't put in UConn?
Of course, UConn.
Okay,
but I feel like that one would be a little unfair. That's why I was kind of leaving them out of it.
Okay, so wait. I can pick.
Well, you know what? Maybe it wouldn't be. Hang on a second.
Wait. So are you saying? Yeah, UConn. Don't do that. Are you suggesting that I can pick my five from? I got those 5 teams that you mentioned, and I can pick my starting 5. I can pick one from Tennessee, one from UConn, one like that type of deal.
No, you pick 5 Tennessee's top 5.
Oh, Tennessee's top starting 5 or UConn
Absolutely.
starting 5
yes.
or dag nabbit.
Because in theory, with like a USC, you could throw Cheryl Miller on there, right?
Oh, it's no question. And Pam McGee.
So now does that
see, I would have to see. No, we can't do that here. Listen, you asking me, and this is my memory. Oh man, come on. But that's, you know what? That's a good show topic. I'll do some homework. We can do that. Call it Paper Champions or something or another. Ooh, that's a good title for something. We throw up some rosters, and we can do that for the NBA too. See what I'm saying? Right here, y'all heard it live. LIVE, baby. That's what we got coming to y'all next. I got to put it together. We got to do some researchables. Yeah, but we're gonna do that. Yeah. Which starting 5 would you pick? And that maybe we can ask it that. You know what I'm saying? We can do it like that. Okay, so don't be stealing now, because we said it right here on this national television program. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Anywho, yeah. So again, man, what Angel Reese did, shout out to Angel.
Yeah, double record.
Yeah, double. Yeah, she's a walking double. You know what I'm saying? You in the same category as Shaq, you know, regardless man or woman. We talking basketball players, baby. And she right there in that category. I mean, I'm saluting. I'm saluting Caitlyn too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because Caitlyn, you know, she got a little mean streak in her. She like, listen here. Listen, she said, listen, this is my bread and meat. If I don't knock down this three, I don't eat. You know what I'm trying to tell you? You know, and she down there. But hey, and let me tell you something else she doing that I am very much appreciative of. Because I don't get into that color thing. That's what most people are making it about. This one is African American, one is get out of here with that. It's about your character. That's what I'm dealing with first. But as a basketball player, and you play that position when you got the ball in your hands all the time, every time, dominating that type of deal, dominating the ball, that is. The question has always been, if the game is so much better now in terms, and especially we talk about the men's, the players are so much better now doing this. They jump higher, they run fast, and we know positions now. You know, you got guys like Wemby, you know, at 7'99", you know, handling the rock up top. Okay, so right. Then all of the statistical should go up with the game and the players being so much better. For instance, in the Mark Price era, one of my favorites. Sorry. Speaking of Georgia Tech, shout out to Mark, baby, MP. That's what we called him when he was with the Cavs, MP, because he was like the military police. He was coming to arrest you. First player I ever saw split a double team, by the way. But anywho, in the Mark Price era, if the average assist for a point guard was somewhere between 4 and 6, I want to say somewhere around like 5.3 or 5.5. I don't know what Mark's assist averages were. And Mark Price was barely 5'11". If point guards now are typical 6'6", 6'7", you know, if everything else has gone up, then your assist averages should go. You can't be so much better than yesterday's players and you averaging the same amount of assists as yesterday's players. You can't do that. Okay.
With more offensively friendly rules.
Thank you. Rules. Thank you. You got to be in the Halliburton category. And don't tell me it's not possible. I.e. Kyrie, when he's with the Celtics, dropped 18, baby. Okay, I'm a poet and don't know it.
Is anyone going to pass Scott Skiles?
Yeah, because he had 30 in one game or something like something crazy like that. No, I don't know. Caitlyn might.
The way I mean, obviously they lost this evening just a moment ago, but I mean the way that
Halliburton.
Oh.
So in other words, averages. See, but everybody wants to look at points to determine if this player was better than that player. Stop.
Well, that's where my frustration with the current today BA, as you've coined it, really starts, because you created this monster. It's almost like only rewarding or paying attention to home runs in baseball.
Yeah.
At that point, that's how you're going to sell the product, and that's what you want everyone to buy into. Then there is that ripple effect. You're going to have far less or more selfish players that are shooting more frequently rather than being able to get paid from appropriately all those other attributes that you're referring to as well. We just talked about it and so that's why, like, Cooper Flag, I'm going to say this now, I buy into it.
Oh, no question.
What he did to Team USA,
Cooper Flag can play,
and then what he did at the Rucker. That was it. That was it for me.
He can ball. Cooper Flag got game. He definitely got game. Oh, and I'm gonna tell you somebody to look out for, because he's just doing it the right way. Kiyan Anthony is if he ain't on your radar, he better be on the bar.
So I wanted to point this out. Obviously, everybody points to Bronny and that type of thing, but what we're starting to see now is, and it kind of hit me when someone kind of pitched it this way. we're starting to see former NBA players really groom their kids. And the way that, for example, I bring up pay to play with US soccer and the many lack of opportunities that it truly provides or allows. And now you insert this part of it, which is, again, former players grooming their kids to play at the highest level, right? They have the resources to be able to put them from the time they're in Pampers pretty much on in the best everything, right? And will we start to see a paradigm shift in the future because of something like that?
Well,
and I thought that was really interesting because I had never heard it pitched in that manner before.
You talking about the video that was circulating? The guy was talking about, okay, I'm glad you brought that up. He has a point. Yes, you might see a shift. However, that does not mean that the player who does not have those resources will become obsolete. Because at the end of the day, if you are a scout, you're looking for you'll know the guys who put the work in. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And you can learn a lot just from watching tapes of certain players.
Here's where I'm going to question you a little bit on that, because what we've seen, right? There were players that I've interacted with that hated the game of basketball. And I read from somewhere else, I'm bringing up soccer on purpose to kind of disassociate the two, but draw a parallel, which is they said a college coach told them, I can only have room for about 2 technical players. Otherwise, I want the speed. I want those types of intangibles rather than, at what you would point out, like footwork and technique and that type of thing. My fear with talking about the player that doesn't actually love the game, but has we'll say the body for it in the frame, that these scouts are valuing those things. I mean, Ben Simmons is actually a perfect example that he has the prototype to be a great player.
Yeah. Okay. Right. But see, at the end of the day, the common denominator is work. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. That is the one element that levels the playing field. Yes, I get it. Kion, Bronny, Bryce, D-Wade's son, they got exactly. They can get all the trainers and they can get all of that type of stuff, right? But like you mentioned in the case of Ben Simmons, what did I say about Ben Simmons years ago that I was lambasted for on this very same platform? Coaching okay, I get it. But as a parent to a child, okay, if I can draw that parable, no matter how bad I want it for you, if you don't want it just as bad, if not more for yourself, then it ain't gonna matter what I say to you. I can tell you all day, hey, here's a weight vest. Here's this. Do it this way. I can give you a full an instructional, do it this way. But if I every time I come in the house and you sitting on 2K, but you're not out in the driveway, then you probably won't get to play. And that don't matter. I don't care whose last name is on the door. Work. If you want it bad enough, then you'll get a spot. Okay, you'll get it. You'll get somebody gonna find you. I'm trust and believe that somebody gonna find you. Trust and believe that. We're gonna take another commercial break. We'll be right back. We're gonna talk some NFL and then round things out. Yeah, of course, with the NFL. Let me see the notes. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got some good stuff coming for y'all today. Y'all gonna really like this. Okay, yeah, we're gonna take another break. We'll be right back. Shout out, baby.
It's K Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Harvey Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report. My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report. Oh, you're Jay Knight, you're watching the Shop Report. Max McKee, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Man. We're from Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report.
Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training.
and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report. How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
All right, we are back. Let's get to some of this NFL, round things out on the P program today. And again, want to send a shout out to all those just tuning in. We appreciate y'all because I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for you all, there would be no us. For we are of the people, not above the people. So let me give a shout out to the people. At the end of the day, the people that make it go. What you gonna say?
Do you have the image?
No, I'm not ready for that yet. No, I don't have the image. No, I told you.
When did you email this thing?
I emailed this. I emailed it when you were 12. I did, and you still ain't got it. My gosh. But anyway, I'm not even ready for that part yet. Yeah, check your emails. Check your emails. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, I was born that night, not last night. We ain't finna do that. But anyway, the Chiefs are obviously the runaway favorite to win it all this year. Do you think? Yay, nay, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Runaway.
Barn, what you mean? Listen, man. Patrick Mahomes is throwing behind the back passes on a football field, man.
I don't know. I'm worried.
I mean, wait, hold up. You and Brother Rich have been giving me the business in our Discord about Patrick Mahomes being Michael Jordan in cleats. And now you don't know? As long as Patrick Mahomes is upright, let me tell you something. The offensive line is way better. Not saying it's superior, but it's great. But I think it was both his tackles, left and right, in that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. I'm telling you right now, they not go down the way it's looking right now in hindsight being 30-40. They beat Tom Brady. I'm telling you that. Patrick Mahomes is that dude, bro. Okay. He been in how many AFC championships? He just got to the league. The dude don't even have facial hair. And he's been in that many AFC championships, bro. Come on now. Yeah. The Chiefs are the runaway favorite. Anyway, let me finish this. Name the team. One team that is legit, has a legit shot at derailing them.
The Cleveland Browns.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Man, cut me in and cut yourself out. Stop that. Okay, Paige and Mrs. Alva. Okay, this is that was your cue, Mrs. Alva. No wonder. Okay. I see what's going on here. All right. Yeah. Once you get to sipping on that cup, all type of shenanigans come out. Anyway, man, seriously. Man, stop.
Look, I will repeat what I heard earlier this week from NFL people. They are.
You mean the same NFL people that be drinking from Red?
They are built for a Super Bowl. So I want to ask you.
They are paper champions, for real.
Well, what do you do with Deshaun Watson?
What do you mean? What do you do with him?
Well, he's sore, right? He hasn't looked like the Houston guy that you said could replace Patrick Mahomes.
No, he hasn't. But listen, that's what happens when you come to Cleveland.
Oh,
that's what happens. This is the place where careers come to die. As a Browns fan, is what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyway, that's your selection, the Browns. Seriously?
Okay, fine.
They have the toughest schedule in all of football.
Right. So what I'll go with
who, by the way, cut Alex Van Pelt, who called a game when Stefanski was out with COVID, to hire Ken Dorsey to be the offensive coordinator, but he ain't coordinating the offense because Stefanski's still calling the plays that's coordinated by the offensive coordinator who was hired because the other guy who coordinated was coordinating. Yeah, say that fast 4 times. Man, listen. Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, the Browns, for me, this is make or break. I'm listen, bro. It's been 50 years. Okay, Municipal is a reef now at the bottom of Lake Erie for 30 years, and here we are still talking about wait till next year. No more excuses for the Cleveland Browns, period. And I don't care who like it or who don't like it, who dismiss it or don't disarray it. I don't care. It's Super Bowl or bust. I'm tired of excuses. Now, barring injury, of course, if you have major injuries, ain't nothing you can do about that. That will, you know what I mean? You got to keep playing. But should everything stay relatively as it's supposed to be relative to the revelations, you know, and the relatives. Did I say that right? I'm just saying. Yes, man. It's been 50. I'm 55 years old, man. And man, stop it. My grandfather, man, don't get me started.
They're playing right now.
I don't care. It's a preseason game. Whoopie-doo. Whoopie-doo. I don't. Stop it. Yeah, okay. Let's put up a shut up with the Browns. Period. End of story. No, optimistic. Oh, well, no, ho, he, ha, not. Anyway, we got another comment. My man, D. Ben. Oh, shut. Oh, man. Oh, I got to be on my best behavior because, you know, DB he don't be messing around. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's enough. It's enough of that. I have my moments. Yeah. If you don't. Anyway, the Browns, no. The Browns, they gotta show up this year because you don't. You must be from Youngstown or Dayton. I knew it. No, I'm not from. Grew up on El Marge. I did. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Oh, and I already know who getting ready to weigh in next. He right behind him. Anywho, yeah, I'm not the Browns. They listen. My fandom is conditional. Okay. Yeah, it's time for them to okay. Ain't no more. Can they do it this year? Can not. I'm telling you, Stefanski's ego is bigger than the top through dragster at Cedar Point, which by the way is shut down now.
You know, I thought you would appreciate that you had a coach, that you had stability at the coaching level with the franchise. And that's not good enough for you. You've been calling for him out for over 2 years. Meanwhile, the folks further east, right, off 80 there.
Whoa, hold it. Let me interrupt you. Let me have an interruption. We interrupt this broadcast to bring to you. Saying stability at the coaching position, yes, but it's almost akin to when folks talk about fathers and absenteeism. Now, stay with me here now. They say, and I say, it's a difference between being present and having a presence. Okay, when you're having a presence, you got stability. But in having that presence, what are you presenting? You get what I'm saying? Different situation, but the concept is the same. Yes, the Browns got stability. But if the guy on the sideline got stupidity, then the heck with the stability. You feeling me? Anyway, so you really going with the Browns? You really gonna sit here and tell me that the Browns?
No, I'll make you happy here, and I'll go.
No, don't make me happy. This ain't McDonald's. I don't know a Happy Meal. What you talking about? Who you got? Can you get serious?
Well, then why not the Lions?
Oh. Did you really? Wait a minute. Where's Doc at when you need him? This is the same guy who called Matt Pafford for years. You don't like Rasheed Wallace. You think Dan Gilbert should run for president. I mean, what is going oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Anyway, that okay. All right. Yeah. All right. The Lions. All right. Yeah. The Lions. Anywho, I'm going to tell you right now.
Go ahead. Crown another AFC North team, because I know that's what you've been chomping at the bit to do it. Here it comes, folks.
Actually, I'm not. The only team I really realistically could see maybe dethroning, Patty Mahomes and Patty Ice is the 49ers. That's it. The 49ers. I think Kyle Shanahan gets his breakthrough, who, by the way, was in Cleveland and said, I don't want Johnny Manziel, but the Browns management did what they Browns man. Let me tell you something about the Browns, bro. It's cute how I quoted Wallace in a comment earlier. He didn't even notice. Well, how am I supposed to know? You didn't say Wallace. Oh, my gosh. Who else is drinking Lucia over there? My gosh. It's unbelievable. who, by the way, the Browns had, Kyle Shanahan. He said, listen, do not draft Johnny Manziel. I don't want that guy. And of course, Browns management, like all Browns managements have done, no matter whose nameplate is on the door, they seem to still be afflicted by the same boy. Don't anyway, let's move on. Don't get me started. I'm telling you right now, I'm picking the 49ers. They're the only team right now I think can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs. Otherwise, and as maybe as a throw-in right quick, I don't know, man. I really don't want to say this, but I'm gonna have to because I got to be on the straight up. Them Packers, boy, that Jordan Love, man, he on his way. He on his way. He on his way. And I'm talking to dethrone them. I'm talking about, it don't matter east or west, AFC or NFC. Would you maybe throw in CJ Stroud in them? What D'Amico Ryans is doing, got a little bit better on the defensive side of the ball?
I don't think that's why they lost. I think it was more to do with, you had Devin Singletary, who clearly took the job away from, at the running back position. And then now you had a lot of injuries at the receiver position late in the season. So hopefully now with the trio that they have, they should be able to maintain stability there. And that really could have been the difference. And like you said, they did improve other areas. So as long as they remain, consistent, they'll have something to say about it. But the same could be said for, as you've pointed out, San Francisco, certainly as I've pointed out, the Lions. And then as you've shown, or we've seen rather in the Discord, that the AFC North has the toughest schedule across the board. So to your point about this year, no, next year, you can't overlook something like that.
No, you can't. I don't. And when I mentioned the 49ers, it's time for them as well to break through. It really is. No, what do you mean?
I don't know. I think that this contract thing is going to.
You talking about with Ayuk?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Right. It's a system, right? If it was truly a system, then you should have made the deal for George Pickens and moved on. If you truly believed that it was just plug and play, and that you had at least the quarterback, quote unquote, game manager, the right one, you had your star receiver in Debo, and you had a great tight end, George Kittle, and certainly, right, with CMC in the backfield, I would have already moved on. I would have absolutely already moved on, because the longer that lingers, it at the very least impacts rhythm. And that's a big deal. I know it's a long season, but when those types of things seem to, it just one way or the other, it seems like those teams typically fall short. I can't ever think of one that had kind of that happy ending in the end. And that's what I struggle with, just off of that premise alone, taking everything else off the table. Teams that, because again, you're talking about now unhappy people, and they become the cancer of the locker room.
Yeah.
You sour a locker room, and that's it. I don't care who else is there.
See what Detroit fan man, shout out, baby. This whole time I thought we were all lying to think Jay picking Niners and FTP feels like the backstab I never saw come. Oh, Steve, man. Oh, man. Come on, man. Come on, D.
Believe me.
Steve, man, don't do your boy like that. It's just, it's all good. Yeah. What's up? What it do, baby? Yeah, come on now. Don't do your boy like that. Just things we had to discuss. Just all, on the sports global side. That's all. We just asking questions, throwing stuff out there, things that chew on a little bit. Tidbits is what they call it. But I don't know, man. You bring up a good point though, Double J. But the same thing could be said for the Browns and Amari Cooper. No?
But that was somebody else that was considered to be rumored.
Because why would you be? That's what I'm trying to say. Why would you be looking at Ayuk? And see, this is why Coop was asking for the money, that because he know it's a business. He don't trust that. He don't trust. He ain't trust the front office. Give me. I need to get that just in case. And sure enough, Ayuk name come up in the Brown. He knew Coop knew what he was doing, man. Now he played it off. I forget what he said in his tweet or whatever text or whatever he tweet. Yeah, something to that. Like yeah. But hey, listen. If you value me, if you tell me you value me, but then I find out you want to get rid of me, do you really value me? It was flowery rhetoric. So I don't know. You're right, though. That could be. Hey, I got a few books sitting here behind me. One by Lawrence Taylor. Jerry Kramer played for the Packers, obviously, legendary Hall of Fame offensive lineman. Mark Bavaro, Jim Brown, The League by John Eisenberg. And that was one common theme in all of those. I got a few more. It's that locker room dynamic is crucial. Or plays a part in team, success or derailment. So I don't know. That's something to look at, going forward this season. We'll see. But I guarantee you, if either the Browns or the 49ers don't have the success, the expected success, if it don't play out that way, I guarantee you that's definitely going to come. We're going to be having that conversation again. You're going to definitely hear about that again. Okay, let's get to FanDuel. Did their top 10 dual threat NFL quarterbacks of all time. I repeat, FanDuel listed their top 10 dual threat NFL quarterbacks of all time. Did I say that right? Oh my gosh, it's past my bedtime. Once you get your AARP card, man, it's all down here from there. Anyway, I'm going to read off the thank goodness I wrote it down, because my co-host doesn't have my graph ready for me. My gosh, what's the world coming to? But anyway, in order, here are FanDuel's top 10 dual threat NFL quarterbacks of all time. Number 1 is Lamar Jackson. Double J, will you please come to the screen so I don't look like I'm talking to myself here? My gosh, put the cup down. Thank you very much. Anyway, number 1 is Lamar Jackson. Number 2, because I got some issues with a few folks on this list. Number 2 is Cam Newton. Number 3 is Mike Vick. Number 4 is Steve Young. Number 5 is Randall Cunningham. Number 6 is Josh Allen. Number 7 is Steve McNair. Number 8 is Russell Wilson. Anywho. Number 9 is Fran Tarkenton. And number 10 is Jalen Hurts. Now, let me give 2 honorable mentions. Roger Staubach for 1. And I'll throw Jim Zorn on that list too. And you might even want to say Archie Manning. But and the reason why I even mentioned Archie Manning is because in the case of Fran Tarkenton, and I'm not saying I would replace him with Fran Tarkenton, I'm just saying Fran Tarkenton spent a lot of time running for his life. That's why he was a dual threat, because this offensive line, if they'd had anything along that offensive line than what they had on the defensive line with the purple people eaters, who's to say they might have won one of them 4 Super Bowls? If I think he went to 4 or 2, didn't he? Or 3 at least, okay? But Cam Newton at number 2, I got a problem with. Josh Allen at number 6, I got a problem with. Russell Wilson at 8, I got a problem with. And Jalen Hurts being on the list, I'm not so sure. Even though he's at 10, I'm not so sure about that. Because when I think of dual threat, I'm thinking of a guy that can really hurt you with his arm and hurt you with his legs. McNair could definitely do that. Lamar not even really can hurt you with his arm as much. He hurts you. If you had to do, you being the percentages guy, would you say Lamar is 70% can hurt you with his legs and 30% with his arm?
No, it would certainly be maybe 55-45. It's
okay.
Yeah. Then
okay. So let's do it on a 100% scale. Like 50-50. Or whatever. 60.
But where's Mahomes?
I'm not. Hello. Hello? This is FanDuel. FanDuel. Detroit fan man weighing in again. He said the only thing Russell Wilson was top 10 in is slogans because Broncos. Oh, Detroit fan man. Man, I'm telling you, man. Listen, bro, on everything, bro, with all due respect, man, when the people weigh in, bro, it's the comments that really keep it going, bro. You know what I mean? D Banner, Rob Billy, Detroit fan man, D Runk, wherever he at. I don't know what D Runk, Mrs. Alva, everybody that weigh in, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, y'all make it what it is. Because if you sat up here and listened to me and Double J, trust and believe, you'd be asleep by now. And you're in your 30s. You look like me, like ARP moments. Anyway. But like Mahomes should have been number one on this list. Okay, where's Mahomes at on the scale? Is he 90-10?
No, I would go 75-25. As he's gotten older, he's been less mobile.
But he's only 12. What are you talking about? As he's gotten older.
Well, he's gotten hurt a few times.
Yeah, well,
right. But when you took his mobility away, right? You brought up that particular Super Bowl. It crushed him.
Well, it wasn't his mobility. You took his offensive.
Well, yeah, but he had the turf toe too. And that mattered towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
That ankle.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So 75-25. Okay.
I would actually put Kyler Murray on the list.
Okay. And what scale? Where would you put him at on the scale?
About 70-30.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. So where would you put Lamar?
1.
1 what? At the top of the list? Oh, absolutely not, man. Stop it. Man, Lamar is run heavy, man. Listen, you cannot look at, this is not most people think anytime you say something contrary to what mainstream is saying, you're hating or you degrading or you denigrating. No. Listen, I love watching Lamar. He's dynamic. But his playoff performance last year, bruh, you can't keep getting there and doing that. Because Steve McNair, if that's the case, I'm putting Steve McNair above Lamar Jackson.
No, you could put Elway or Steve Young.
Okay, that's fine. All right, yeah, exactly. Steve Young being 4th on the list. But you can put Mike Vick. But which Mike Vick you putting there? Philly Vick?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's what I'm trying to say.
No. Atlanta. Atlanta.
Okay, Atlanta Vic. It don't okay.
04 Vic was a cheat code.
To me, either Vic. Then see, that's what I'm disappointed in FanDuel. I'm just, you all are the one. I mean, like even outdoing DraftKings in terms of fantasy football, and you all put this. This had to be on purpose so that we could do this here, because it makes Lamar. He's not number one, bro. That's really what I'm driving at. He's not number one. I would even put Randall Cunningham. Yeah, because in the Fog Bowl against the Bears in Soldier Field, if that fog ain't there, I'm sorry, them Bears with Richard Dent and all them guys and Suey and I forget Sean Gale and all of them, with mad due respect what they did in '85. But Randall was he was gonna light if he could have he couldn't see nothing that day, man. He couldn't see. Wasn't Ricky Watters on that team? If I remember correctly. I think Ricky Watters was on that team. I know Chris Carter and Mike Quick were two of the receivers on that squad. And who was the tight? I can't remember who the tight. Man, Randall was letting it fly.
Mm-hmm.
And his escapability. Man, come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on. Me personally, I'm not saying Lamar ain't on the list. And I don't even really know where I would place him. But I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, who's ahead of him. Mike, that's as far as currently as the list is constructed. Mike Vick is definitely ahead of him. Steve Young. I'm Randall Cunningham. Yeah, them three. And I would even throw because remember now, you got Cam Newton, Josh Allen, and then I said Steve McNair. And Russell Wilson.
And get Russell Wilson off the list. Man.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. See, They said dual threat.
Oh,
Steve McNair. I mean, it's not Steve McNair. Steve Young broke off a 65, 70-yard run with no helmet. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, no, he had his helmet on in that run, but he tripped almost at the end. You know, man, come on, man. No, I'm sorry. Lamar ain't at the top. Cam Newton, no, he's definitely not number 2. If you had to redo the list, you want me to go through the list again? Who would you put at 1? Well, you already said Lamar, so just take yourself off the screen again. I'll just talk to the people.
no way.
What do you mean, no way?
Think about it. Lamar, I want to say, has over 5,000 rushing yards, if I remember correctly.
And how many how many passing yards?
Well, I know he just 2 years ago. Hang on, we'll get his stats going.
Okay,
now.
well, get his stats. And while you're at it, they didn't really did they? Well,
he's got 15,000. Are these total yards or are those just passing yards?
Don't tell me they just passing yards. Don't do that, because that's a whole nother animal. I'm telling you right now, I couldn't necessarily, really do an order.
Yeah, passing yards 15,800.
And he's been in the league how long? How many years?
He's 27.
How many years? 5? No, more than that.
6. Mm-hmm.
So how would you do that? 15 divided by 6?
About 3.
3,000. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, a little under 3. He's been in the league 6 years.
27 or so.
And he number 1 on this list? No, absolutely not. No. Yeah, because I can see you looking up somebody else. Who else you looking up?
No, I'm staying with him. Just trying to see.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to look up his rushing yards next.
Well, his rushing yards are going to be
5,000. I was right. 5,200.
Yeah. So again, they run heavy, man.
What do you mean? He's passed for 3 times that amount.
Bro.
3-to-1 rush to pass. That sounds like a great ratio.
You mean 3-to-1 in terms of 3
How about
rushes?
this? Tom Brady had 1,100 rushing yards. It's kind of surprising.
Anyway, leave Tom Brady out of this. I'm saying per season for 6 seasons, you throwing for under 3 something. What, 26, 2,800, 2,700?
How about this?
Like
Lamar has more rushing yards, has over 1,500 more rushing yards than Josh Allen, who was listed. For us.
Okay, but when I say dual threat, let me be more specific. That's a
John Elway, 3,400 rushing yards. So already in 6 years, let's go ahead and throw Steve Young up there.
What I'm saying is you're gonna
42.
see.
Come on, what are we doing here?
Listen,
why did disrespect?
No, we're gonna see a balance of rushing yards and passing yards over the duration of the tenure been in the league.
So you're favoring. Look at you.
What do you mean?
He's got to throw the ball.
It says dual threat. So wait. Okay, let's do it like this then. Based on the eye test.
Look at you wanting the prototypical quarterback.
No, I don't want.
Let's put Peyton Manning on a list.
Absolutely not. Nobody's putting. And
when he did run, he typically scored a touchdown because
that's absolutely not. No, stop it. No, stop it. Okay, let's do it like this. Based on the eye test, with both his arm and his legs, are you taking Lamar Jackson over Mike Vick?
Vic had 6,100 rushing.
No.
I'm taking Lamar
based
Jackson.
On the eye test, are you taking Lamar Jackson over Mike Vick?
I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
Okay, okay, you know what? All right.
I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
All right,
Look,
and on that note,
Mike could sling the rock. But you know what? He only has Lamar's going to pass him in rushing yards.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, see, now you're getting into who played for how long, and I'm asking you based on the eye test. You telling me based on the eye test, you're taking Lamar Jackson over Randall Cunningham?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. You taking Lamar Jackson over Kyler Murray?
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Oh, I'm done. Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay, listen, for all those out there that's watching this and is still tuning in, let us know what you think. Okay, don't stop the comments now. Okay, yeah, because that's why they ain't coming in right now. Because they're like, ooh, Jay might be on the one something here right there. Yeah, okay, anyway. Yeah, this list is trash. And you see what I'm finna do with it? This list is trash. It's no way in the world. FanDuel should be fired from that crap. Excuse me. Can I say that? Yeah, I just did. Anywho, let's move on.
Oof. So you favor the pass heavy?
No, I don't.
Yes, because look, Elway has 51,000 yards passing. Right.
And how many
Lamar
rushing?
has 15.
Well, and okay, but even still, no. Elway's first 6 years, because Lamar's only been in the league. You can't look at Elway's 51,000 if he played 9-10 years.
Mahomes is at 28.
28 what? Passing?
Passing.
What is he at rushing?
Let's see.
In other words,
1,900.
In other words, it says dual threat, meaning when that guy dropped back to pass, it's like Larry Bird when he got in the corner with Magic. You seen that clip when Magic and the whole Lakers bench was leaning like, oh no, y'all didn't let that man, not him, wide open. I'm talking about when that dude dropped back to pass, you like, oh, cancel the season. Or when that dude get to running, you like, oh, cancel the season. It's one of them Laker Bird moments with both his arm and his legs, not just one far more than the other. I'm saying a good balance of both. That's what a dual threat is to me.
But Steve Young only had 33,000 passing yards.
Okay. Listen.
And he played forever.
I mean, so now what you're trying to say, because he had Jerry Rice and John Taylor?
Well, I would say at this pace, wherever you wanted to play Steve Young, you have to put Lamar Jackson over it because he's on pace to pass him. He's already done it in rushing.
Okay. All right. Well, he ain't done it. He ain't done it in totality. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not taking Lamar Jackson over Randall Cunningham. All right. Randall Bam Cunningham. Anyway, let's move on. Give me from the AFC and the NFC your dark horse teams to make the playoffs this season.
NFC dark horse. Let's go Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, wow, really? Because of who? Kyler Murray? That you wouldn't take over Lamar Jackson? Would you please help me make up my mind? I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this. You're on both sides of the street at the same time. Why would you take the Cardinals?
I like McBride, the tight end. I think he's one of the next studs of that skill position. Okay. I think they've retooled James Conner has been able to really flies under the radar, but he's very consistent as long as he stays healthy. And then also at the receiver position, a lot of out of the old, in with the new. Okay. And then defensively, I think the division itself is kind of a little up for grabs. So I think that, again, I think teams like the Rams have taken a small step backwards. And
why is that? Because of Stat Pafford?
No, Aaron Donald, or lack thereof.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah.
And I'm not a big believer in Seattle. So I'm just looking at, even if you were to split with those two, you have a more favorable schedule across the board, gives you another opportunity.
Okay, so who wins that division? Who wins the NFC West?
Potentially the Rams, yes.
Dag, D Banner, you stole my thunder. Oh, D Banner, shout out though. He own it. Yeah. But that was gonna be like my honorable mention. But yeah, I'm with you on that too. I think the Falcons on both sides of the ball, man.
Those trades they made were
Those trades are win now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the Browns, they trying to trade away Amari Cooper. I'm just saying.
You have $72 million tied up at the quarterback position.
Okay, and ain't no different.
How can you say win now, but then you drafted the quarterback for the future?
Why not? Okay. Hey, listen, better to have. Listen, if I'm an NFL franchise, I'd rather have that problem than what the Browns had and Charlie Fry and Colt McCoy and Spurgeon Wynn. And yeah, okay, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, okay. Meanwhile, the
Jameis
Steelers.
Is there.
Oh man, please. Nobody want no man, please. Nobody want no inspirational leader. Come on, win one for the Gipper. Stop it. That's all I've been seeing is clips of Jameis Winston rallying the troops. Yeah, all right, just preseason anyway. I'm just saying, man. Yeah, the Falcons though. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with DB on that Falcons tip. But my pick for the AFC, the Broncos. I believe Sean Payton found his quarterback in Bo Nix. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And drum roll, please. But I don't have a drum roll, so we'll give you. And from the NFC side, I'm picking the Washington Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels is going to surprise him. Yeah, I'm going to jump out the plane at 72,000 feet with no parachute and say that the Washington Commanders, barring injury, of course. Thank you. Following the Packers blueprint, draft future quarterback now in Atlanta. Okay. Oh man, he must. Him and RB must be in the same room. But it makes sense though. I can't argue it if it makes sense. I'm with you, DB. If it makes sense, yeah. I'm glad you said it because I ain't gonna have to, because I would have got chewed out. I'm telling you right now, I think the Washington Commanders win the NFC East.
No way. Not a chance.
I'm just saying.
Not a chance.
I'm just saying. Don't knock it till you.
Absolutely not.
Don't knock it till you don't try it. Who is your NFC team? No, your AFC team. You picked the NFC team.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on the West Coast. No.
Oh, you going to pick the Chiefs? Oh, boy.
No. That? I was torn between two. I'm going to lean on this other one instead. So I'm going to go the Indianapolis Colts.
You mean for the 12-team college football playoff?
I think look, you have a decent receiver core. You have the same complementary tight ends that they've had for a while now. And if you can keep Anthony Richardson upright, then they were already competitive previously. So,
without
him, they were in the mix, and it's a weaker division as a whole.
Yeah, that's true. They were actually in the mix with Gardner Cashew.
Right.
I'm just saying. Okay, planners. Who needs those, right?
Colonel Mustard or Mustache.
Oh yeah, yeah. he beat out Aiden O'Connell, right?
No, not statistically.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
Not statistically.
Well, what about aesthetically?
He just didn't turn it over. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Give it to week 2.
Yeah, if you say so. Anyway, it's been a fun one today, y'all. We appreciate everybody for joining in. Shout out. Let's give everybody a shout out. And on that note, I'll leave you with this quote.
Wipe me down.
What you say? Color me bad. Wipe me what? Oh my god. Yeah, don't say, oh my gosh. Anyway, see, I knew it. Let's get out of here. I'll leave you with this quote. People act like mirrors. Friends reflect your good qualities, and enemies reflect your faults. Let me say that again. People act like mirrors. Friends reflect your good qualities, and enemies reflect your faults. It's been fun, but we got to run. Don't forget to check us out every Saturday at 9 on the PM side, right here on the yard. Oh, and make sure y'all check out the Turnbuckle every Monday at whatever time the Lucia stop flowing.
That's right.
D Gully and my co-host.
After dark.
That's right. Or y'all can check out the shop report. We got one more comment before we get out of here. We're going to get to. Let's see who this is right here. I don't know what that is, but okay. Oh, wow. Best viewers. I don't know what that is, but okay. Best viewers on what is that? Double J? Are you seeing that?
Yeah, they're on Twitch.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if it was appropriate or inappropriate.
Oh, no way.
Well, yeah. Shout out to D Gully. We closing out now, buddy. It's all good though. We'll show this comment once again. Best viewers on. I don't know if that's a site that y'all want to go to or not go to, but we shout out to the people on the Twitch side.
Do you want to at least get his opinion on your dual threat there?
No, we can't because I got some other stuff to do. Sorry, D Gully. You know what I'm saying? I wish you could have joined us a little bit earlier because it was a pretty good one. All right. But unfortunately, we got to get out of here. It's been fun, but we got to run. Don't forget to check us out. Did I say that already, Ari?
Every Saturday at 09 on the PM side.
Yeah, right here on the yard.
Or y'all can on the yard.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, got you. Anyway, or y'all can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the shop's fan page, and of course, YouTube. And please make sure when you over at the tube, hit that subscribe button. We'd be much obliged. And if that don't work, Google it. For my dudes, Be Rich, Double J, D Gully, TJ, and all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay. You've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla!